Hello and welcome to Rewind, fresh out of Solo.
A Star Wars story.
A Star Wars story, and a Star Wars story it was. Instead of a crawl, they gave us words in the beginning, just didn't move the way it was.
Yeah, just a little, this is what's going on.
So, overall feel of the movie, was it good? Recommending it? Before we get into all the nitty-gritty?
I would say check it out. It's definitely good for character development, backstory. You see how his relationship with Lando comes to be. You see how his relationship with Chewie comes to be. You see how the Millennium Falcon becomes a part of his world. You know, I think I'm kind of feeling like we're getting too much Star Wars right now. Oh, I need a break.
Star Wars overload.
I'm feeling it. Like, I'll do Marvel all day, every day, but for whatever reason, Star Wars is one of those. I think just especially because that's how the first couple of films started out. It was like we had quite a waiting period between each one, so there was that nice build up, and I wonder what they're gonna do, and now I feel like it's just it's like movie after movie after movie, machine. And I'm over it.
It's a movie machine. I love Lando. Donald Glover is amazing. Every supporting character was really, really good.
Yeah.
There was really not much that I didn't like. I'm trying to think here if I didn't like. I mean, it was just a really, really good movie. Star Wars. It was a Western. So I highly recommend it. This is the point where we stop, take a break. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. From here on out, it's officially spoiler territory.
All kinds.
Cannot save you.
We gonna talk about it.
Everything that happens at this point happens now. So, spoilers. So, did I like what exactly?
How did you feel about the comedy aspect of it? Did you feel like it was too much? Did you feel like it was just the right amount for a Han Solo character? Or did you know, because I know I felt with Force Awakens that it was a little too much comedy.
Okay.
The new gen, I should say, the new generation of the Star Wars films, it's getting a little too much more towards the comedy, and it should be a little more action, drama, suspense.
Okay.
So how did you feel about this one?
I expected this to be more comedic than
Han has that dry, sarcastic comedy,
and his supporting cast was really good, and they actually had some very serious undertones that I wasn't expecting to see.
Were you surprised at how quickly people died? Like, as far as like a part of the crew, the team with Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah.
I did not expect.
I didn't expect that at all. But no, I thought the comedy it matched the movie. Like it wasn't like too much. It wasn't not enough for me. Yeah. Like it matched the story that they were telling us. So I enjoyed the story that they were telling us. It had a flow. It had the climax. It didn't. And you know what's weird? This is a movie that I could actually not remember in a while going to, where I was in it the whole way through.
Yeah, there's definitely...
There was no pullback where I'm like, okay, this is going,
I wouldn't say that there was edge of your seat moments, but there were definitely moments where you were like, okay, how, you were riding along with them.
So this was the joy-filled ride that I was hoping from this movie.
I'm definitely way more pleased with how it all turned out than I was going in initially. Because we've talked about this at length a couple of times, and I was like, I'm not sure. I was really happy doing this one.
All right. So all these things happen. He meets the crew, and the crew that we thought we were going to see is not the crew that ends up with being... No. But it was important for us to see that, I think. Like,
Yeah.
And there's a few things that they don't mention it in this movie. Like the life death of Wookiees is a very important life debt to say. But he does save Chewie's life, not just by breaking him out of jail.
Yeah, he frees him from imprisonment.
Which, guys, thank you. True Star Wars fans, they gave it to us. Han Solo was in the army, working for the Empire, breaks Chewie out of jail, out of enslavement, just like the old pre-stories. Those things we got. So those were the big things. Those are like one of my moments. I was like...
Yeah, I knew you were really jazzed about that.
Yeah, so those were great. And then they show you the Sabbat game on the trailer that wasn't the Sabbat game of what we all thought it was going to be.
So how he
actually got the Millennium Falcon. Nice twist, nice turns.
Yeah.
Well played trailer. But no, I don't think that nothing really failed me in this movie. Was I surprised that she bounced at the end? Maybe.
I thought they were gonna kill her off.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
I thought they were gonna kill her off because he has to have because he kind of because he's Han Solo, so he goes. He's on his own. He's a lone creature. It's just him and Chewie. If she lived, I'm thinking, okay, well, at what point is he going to cut ties with her?
Yeah.
So I just assumed they were going to kill her off, but in true Khaleesi fashion, she said, I don't need no man.
She rides off.
She did it her damn self.
Oh, she rides off into the sunset.
In that super nice yacht ship.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Also, cool thing, I don't know, my Star Wars is like a little bit above basic, but
it's definitely better than mine.
I'm really curious if like that's how he got his name. Like I don't know if that's new for this movie. Like so
okay, how they
came up with
named him
Han Solo.
Because who are your people?
Who are your people? Like instead of because he's not Calrissian. God, I forgot his planet. Even though it's like right on the tip of my tongue because I'm reading a book about it. But yeah, no, Han Solo was not necessarily his last name, right? Yeah, it's there.
Not Kalor.
No. If I'm gonna pause it, I'm gonna just fast forward the time and look this up. Han Solo's birth planet is Corellia. I'm so mad I forgot that. But yeah, so usually it would be named after his last name or like Han of Corellia or the people or whatever he is. But Han Solo being really cool for him being not attached to anyone. And they had that like underlying storyline where Woody Harrelson tells him, don't trust anybody in the game. Yeah. And then he has all these things where he sees people leaving his life and he ends up by himself but then becomes reattached. Even in this, they make little small nuances that you'll see played out in later on in his life, not later on in the movie, but later on in the life where you're like, oh, that's why he ends up joining, the rebellion. And that's really cool what they did with those pirates and the smugglers, how they turned out to be. Now, the big secret, big cameo comeback, because they did it with Rogue One where they had, Princess Leia and Darth Vader come out of the woodworks. This one, no Princess Leia, no Darth Vader, which makes tons of sense in the world because I'd be hella mad. I would have walked out of there feeling like totally disrespected, not their time. But Darth Maul. Very good secret. Did you see that one coming at all?
No.
No, right?
I thought, if anything, maybe it was going to be Snoke. Maybe they were going to give us a little more background into Snoke because there was a lot of mystery surrounding his backstory and how he became this all-powerful being. So that's initially where I went to. But I liked the Darth Maul because it goes with the timeline. Yeah. So I like that.
It fits in perfectly with the timeline.
Yeah.
That was a secret cameo. Favorite scene?
That's a great question.
Is that a good question for you?
Go ahead and do your favorite scene.
My favorite scene, I'm going to give you two.
You're going to say the Kessel Run.
No, the Kessel Run was good, but it wasn't what I wanted. I mean, like, I wanted to see him more going through because this
is the nerdy thing about me. So, Spock and Kirk in Star Trek had and now I'm drawing a blank and we're going to have to look it up again.
The Voyager?
Oh, Kobayashi Maru. Excuse me.
So the Spock test that you're talking about.
So in Star Trek, they have the Kobayashi Maru. So it was a whole big thing. How did Kirk beat it? Because it was supposed to be this unbeatable test, and Kirk somehow beat it. He's the only person in history to ever beat the Kobayashi Maru, and it was this big, huge deal. And that's what kind of formed his bond with Spock. That's how they kind of first met each other and talked about, everything. So when the newer Star Trek films came out, they finally showed us how he beat the Kobayashi Maru. And it was kind of a letdown. Like it was funny, but at the same time it was also like it was just done in such a casual manner that it was almost insulting for this decades-long build-up. Yeah. So I feel the same way about the Kessel Run. While it was exciting...
It was really exciting. There's twists and turns.
I almost wish they never showed us. Yeah. Because I still feel like the legend and the mystery were so much bigger and so much more more palpable that when we actually saw it, it was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. But I don't know that it was
because
it really did it justice.
Two things that make it a little bit less Han and more of the ship is because the L3 bot was inside and navigated the run, which, you know, gave them the shortcut, which I'm not saying that's not an awful thing. It's a ship. He's driving.
But he had
ship.
assistance, basically.
He had an assistant.
And then they put that little...
Which now, don't get me wrong, it was Han Solo that came up with the idea to input her into the system like that. But I'd rather him, on his wits alone, rush through there
and it was also his decision to cut into the
warp to go off of the once safe canal. So I mean, he did a lot of things that were very Han Solo-esque. Yeah. Don't tell him the odds and all this stuff. He doesn't want it, and that's there. That's all there, but it just. There's not what you're seeing. Which again
is also kind of a Star Trek thing because the whole test was supposed to be a no-win scenario, and Kirk's like, I don't believe in the no-win scenario. So it's funny when you see the parallels. Yeah. And like I said, it's just interesting. Again, me being a Trekkie person, it's just interesting seeing how both second generations of these films,
give us
third
the answer.
Generations, have chosen to
instead of giving a risk,
put those
they're
out
going to give the lore an actual face.
Yeah.
My first one's definitely going to be the conversations between Han and
Lando or Chewie?
Lando. Not their first meeting, but when he's like, I never want to see you again, and how he always says Han instead of Han, which is what the actual Lando Calrissian did, and like you find out why he does it. Yeah. So that part was really good, and God. There was one more, but I'm like, I want to say, like, because the scene that I was not expecting was the scene with Lando and the bot and how they had this. Yeah. That was a really cool
because you never really see Lando with emotion like that. And, or having some type of attachment to anything because you're so used to him just constantly stabbing people in the back to get his, his way.
Which is really weird because if you're following and you're a Star Wars fan and you read articles like on the web, you've been seeing this article pass around about he's being a pansexual. And I'm like, why is that important for us to know? Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason that, I mean, like, unless it adds to the story, I don't want to know it.
Right.
And now, just for everybody to know, the writers did that for a reason. They let us know ahead of time before we go in there and be like all types of confused for like real Star Wars fans. So that was a really cool bit of information to know. But I love how she's now a part of the ship forever. And then there was one line that she says to him, he's like, what do you want? Equal rights? And he's sitting there. And
that was great. Everything with L3 was pretty darn great.
Yeah, she was she's not as good as K2SO, which I love. Alan Tudyk's K2SO in Rogue One was my favorite droid. This was a really good. But it's just like those little things, and she's like, I formed a rebellion! I didn't know! I think I found my calling. Oh, so
Liberate
good.
yourself.
Liberate yourself.
Be free. I don't care what you do. Just go free your friends.
So I thought those parts were really good for me. I love Han and Chewie's relationship. It seems naturally organic, especially how Chewie was about to mess him up in the beginning. Was like, and then you get to find out that he learned.
He knows a little bit.
Of Wookiee, and that is from he took it as an elective while going to school.
Yes, and he did say that too.
So that was cool. What was your favorite scene?
Oh my gosh, I still don't.
You still don't know? You don't have to choose one.
I think I have an answer.
That's fine. Is it her in the yacht? Like the aliens and everybody, the background scenery of this was dope. The villain was really, really good.
Paul Bettany, Vision, hey boy.
He looked real good. His little weapons that he had.
His weapons were sick. Can't wait to get those toys.
Now really cool because now I was like, yo, they look really, like Jedi-ish, like in my brain. And now that we know that he was connected to Darth Maul, makes so much more sense. Like you get to see where the small little nuances that they took in this movie were great.
I will say I did like the dice integration. I like that Ron Howard took that from The Last Jedi and made the connection there because that's the first time we've ever seen the dice. We don't know crap about the dice, so at least he did try to kind of pull it back and say, no, this is part of Han's legacy, even though we've never touched on it before. Thanks, Ryan. So I thought that was really smart. I mean, Ron Howard's a smart cookie, so he did a really good job.
Yeah. So without your favorite scene, then give me your rating.
I'll give it. I will. You know what? I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because I really was not same page because I really liked it much more than I was expecting to.
4 out of 5.
I'd happily see it again.
Yeah, fun movie.
Yeah,
a lot of good story. And it is a Star Wars film, so like the aliens and the creatures and everything behind them, they took extra detail. Seeing the Millennium Falcon in its full glory, even though like I know what it looks like now.
Oh, that was nice too when he got to get out of there when he got rid of the escape pod.
Yep.
Because I squeaked a little bit because I've always been asking people. I'm like, why does it look different? What's the? And people thought it was a piece of the cargo hold.
Yeah.
People thought it was different thing. So when he launched that sucker and it was gone forever, I was like, yes, there it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, it's a very, very small detail. When he's going through the scraping, they make a little bit of notice to see the satellite disappear.
Yes.
There's a reason why there's 2 instead of 3, like it is. So they actually take the satellite off in the Kessel Run, which that ship got destroyed. Like, it's amazing that it survived any of that stuff.
He done messed it up.
Yeah. So, hey guys, that's it. That's Liz at Hawkeye MC and Hawkeye 35 on Snapchat. I am Joe at Comics Fashion. And until the next rewind, we'll see you guys again later. Peace. It's killing me. Oh my God.
It's like Call.
It's not Kessel.
Kellini or Kelly or something. No, it's not Kessel. It's...
No. Jesus. This is just going to be like a montage. Han Solo's birth planet.
Oh, it's right there. There you go.
Corellia.
Corellia.